tragedies rarely begin with loud chaos. Most begin quietly, a silent scream that no one hears. For 19-year-old Loveth Uloma, that silent scream had lived in her throat for years, muffled by fear, buried under threats, and trapped behind the very walls that were supposed to keep her safe. This is the horrifying story of Emeka Emmanuel, a 51-year-old man who turned from guardian to tormentor, from protector to predator, and eventually from abuser to killer. Loveth ordeal started in 2019 when she came to live with Emeka in Ibeku OP community of Nsukka. Emeka had just lost his wife, and the family believed he needed support and companionship. Sending Loveth, a 13-year-old, to help with chores and company seemed harmless. After all, he was a maternal cousin, an older family figure, someone everyone trusted. Few days after Loveth's arrival in Emeka's house, Emeka's true identity began to manifest. He grew unusually strict with Loveth. He controlled her movement, cut her off completely from her peers. Neighbors would later say that Loveth rarely smiled, rarely stepped outside, rarely spoke to anyone. Every time someone tried to greet her, she flinched like a girl living in permanent fear. As the years crawled by, Loveth lived through the unthinkable. Where no one could see, Emeka subjected her to constant sexual abuse, defilement, and a level of psychological torment that broke her spirit bit by bit. He warned her never to tell anyone. He reminded her that she had no escape. He also threatened her life countless times, and over the years, she believed him. In February 2024, Loveth finally decided to escape. She fled, running back to her family in Igbo is a North local government area in Enugu. For the first time in years, she felt a small spark of safety, but the nightmare followed her. Within days, Emeka tracked her down. Witnesses say he arrived in the village, raging like a man possessed, brandishing threats, and telling the family he would end her life if she didn't return with him. In her fear, and with the family not fully understanding the danger, Loveth followed him back to Nsukka. The chain she tried to break had grown stronger. Back in Nsukka, Emeka continued unleashing his barbaric treatment on his cousin Loveth. After enduring more than she can tolerate, on November 28, 2025, Loveth gathered every remaining bit of her courage she had. This time, she ran, not to a neighbor, not to a relative, but straight to the police division. With tears running down her face, she narrated everything to the police: the years of abuse, the threats, the defilement, the night she cried silently, the time he forced her into submission, to mention but few. The officers listened. They invited Emeka and his family for questioning. And to the shock of everyone, Emeka confessed. He admitted everything and begged for forgiveness. Loveth became so happy, believing justice had finally come. For the first time in years, she felt like someone was on her side. But then came the twist. Emeka's family stepped in. They accepted it was an abomination, but they insisted it should be handled spiritually, not legally. In one of the most tragic decisions ever witnessed, the police reluctantly agreed. Emeka was allowed to return home temporarily. Loveth was heartbroken, scared, disappointed on December 1st, 2025. Just 3 days after reporting the abuse, Loveth was in a quiet pharmacy in Nsukka receiving medical treatment. Then the door burst open. Witnesses say Emeka stormed inside with rage burning in his eyes. Not the rage of a man trying to defend himself, but of a man trying to silence his victim forever. He grabbed Loveth by the neck, lifting her up her feet, and before anyone could intervene, he smashed her head against the wall. again and again and again. The pharmacist screamed. People tried to pull him back, but Emeka was far stronger, fueled by the fury and desperation. By the time they were able to drag him away, she was rushed to the hospital, but it was already too late, as the doctors confirmed her death on arrival. The girl who fought for freedom, who had run to the police, who had begged to be heard, was silenced forever. The Enugu State Police Command immediately announced the arrest of Emeka. The police PRO SP Daniel Ndokwe issued a statement condemning the act and acknowledging the tragedy. The Commissioner of Police, Maman Bitrus, also ordered a full investigation and promised swift prosecution. As investigation continues, one thing is clear: justice may come, but for Loveth Uloma, it will always be too late. Our story stands as a warning, a reminder that silence is deadly, that culture must never overshadow the truth, and that every victim deserves protection and not promises.